What's up, guys? I know it's been a minute since you heard my voice, but fret not, my friends. I have been playing the post-home meta, and it's been very fun, very enjoyable for me. And yeah, so let's just hop right into it. So OLT, you guys already know what this is, especially for my OG subscribers. I've been going for this for what? This is the third year now. I went for it in Sword and Shield 2020 and in 2021. Didn't make it both times. So let's see what happens this year. So Scarlet Violet OLT. And yeah, so let's just hop right into it. So first game, it's actually a pretty funny game, so I wanted to show it. Using just a team. The teams are very good, but it's very fun. So we got Ban Meowscarada. Very nasty set right now. Nobody's prepped for that. Stuff like Zapdos gets cooked by Bandit Thunder Punch, nearly a 2 kill. Moltres, stuff like that. And yeah, it's just very strong mon in general. Paired up Heatran, basically the idea is Meowscarada plus something to abuse Amoonguss, Corviknight, the switch-ins. So pair that with Heatran, Rocks, Taunt, Stallbreaker set with Magma Storm. And yeah, so we got Dondozo, helps check very dangerous mons such as Excalibur, King Gambit, Dragonite, things like that. I actually don't like Dondozo though, because it's like the type of mon that doesn't let me play offensively, because you have to like rest when you get low, and then they can take advantage of the free turns. I don't like that. I don't like using Dondozo at all, really. But yeah, it's on the team because it's needed. And pretty unorthodox pick in Screamtail. It's actually not as good as it was in pre-home, mainly because of stuff like Heatran and Galarian Slowking in particular being able to just get free turns versus it. But it's still okay. It's able to check stuff like Walking Wake, not really though, because you can't afford to be plus def anymore. So a lot has changed for Screamtail. So yeah, it's able to check Sandy Shocks, and Namorous, which is a big one for this team. And Wish Pass to Dozo and Tren is very disgusting. So yeah, I like that. And yeah, next gotta have your Great Tusk. Offensive on this team. Don't need to be defensive because Dondozo already handles stuff like Gambit. So just straight up offensive. Rocky Helmet and Dragonite last as my check for opposing Heatrans. Iron Moss with the Terra Grounds and as my sweepers. So so right now my rating is around, I think, 1900. And my opponent is another ladder tour player, LT 103 Rich. So let's just hop right into this game. I lead Great Tusk, knowing the Masquerade's coming. It's like, why would you lead Tusk versus Masquerade? Well, I have Stone Edge on this Tusk, so we're gonna go straight for that. I could have led Tran and Magma Storm, but I didn't want Sticky Web going up, and then my Tusk and Meowscarada, all these things would be slow. So I definitely want to have the lead situation, be able to rapid spin. So he just gets up Sticky Web, and then I guess predicts me to predict the goal. I'm not predicting shit, my guy. So he's basically playing 5-6, just waste the whole Masquerade. So I'm gonna get the spin off, which is huge. And yeah, Masquerade essentially did nothing. So he goes to Gren as if this is a counter, and just with that young close combat. Bro, what are you doing? Get up out of here. So Gren dies for no reason, and then he goes to Iron Moth. I actually don't want to stay in because Tusk kind of bodies the rest of his team. So pull the switch into my Heatran first, knowing that there's no way you go for a Terra Ground immediately, because it probably doesn't even kill even a -1, I don't think. And you don't want to reveal that, especially if I go to Dragonite first. So I'm like, he's gonna go for something else that's not Terra Ground. As he subs, go to Dragonite here to scout / bait the Terra Ground, as he does go for that. So it's smash. Bro, what are you doing? bro, what are you doing? So Earthquake, just to break this up. He's Speed Moss, so I know he's not gonna do any type of damage. And yeah, so basically half his team is wasted. His Terra's gone as well. So this game is pretty much over because Dondozo just walls back Gambit, and then Goldango is checked by Tren and Meowscarada offensively. So Yeah, at this point, there's pretty much nothing you can do. Like it was over once the Masquerade didn't get webs up. So I roost to Dragonite just to stay healthy. And hard Meowscarada, crazy play because it could have just focus blasted on the switch. It's pretty much no drawback because usually Dragonites, the Earthquake Extreme Speed, they can't touch Balloon Dango. So he could have just focus blasted there, but pretty savage play going hard Meow, knowing he's not going to go for that. I don't know how I knew. So just go for knock him out. Can't even Terra because the Terra's gone. And he gets smoked in one, so gone. And yeah, goodbye. So Gambit comes in, but he forfeits because it's over. As Dondozo just clicks body press 5 times. I say 5 times because Mouth dies to 2 from there. So yeah, smashing. And I showed this game to CDC and Blunder, and they were just dying laughing because this was just nasty. And on top of that, every mon is at 100%. 100% 6-0 is crazy. So yeah, this guy got cooked. And yeah, we're gonna move on to the next game. We're back with the second game. My opponent is LT103 Artifice, and yeah, my team has a very Gen 8 vibe to it with the Galarian Slowking, Corviknight, Lando T core. It's a combination you see quite a bit back in the day. It even has Cinderace too, so there's a lot of Gen 8 stuff on this. But yeah, you guys are gonna see me rotate teams quite a bit. I'm just at this point trying to figure out what's consistent enough to get me to the top, and once I find that specific team, that's how I'll be rocking with for the rest of the run. So for now, we're going to be using this. This team is based around a combination of Scar Samurai plus Expert Belt Iron Valiant. Basically, Valiant breaks all the things that's that wall Samurai, so things like Amoonguss, After Rocks, belt size shock does like 44%, so nearly a 2 KO. Corviknight Dondozo, break those with Thunderbolts. So pretty basic, pretty much it. And then the rest of the team is just the backbone. Galarian Slowking helps check opposing Valiants, Enamorous, Pex, which is a big one, is my main switch into that. Corviknight, I'm Iron Defense on this team, which 6-0s my opponent completely. All I need to do is remove the Dragapult, and it's over because nothing else can kill it. This team is extremely physical. So yeah, looking to 6-1 with that. But yeah, Corviknight might check the back Excalibur, Dragonite, can Gambit because 1v1s it with Iron Defense if it's not faster, which actually most aren't nowadays. Some people are going slow, which is good. But yeah, got the classic Spadef Landers, helps with Dragapult, which would otherwise be a big threat, and Zapdos because my Slowking isn't boots, so rocks and spikes go up. That's really not a good counter anymore, so I was like, I really need something to help me with that, just a secondary check. And yeah, actually no U-turn on this because his team has enough momentum already between Cinderace, Corby, and Slowking. I'm just straight up Earthquake, Stone Edge, Grass Knot to basically hit everything I need, being Tusk, Zapdos, things like that. And yeah, so and then Cinderace is my hazard control and extra form of speed, better fire resist, things like that. So yeah, like I said, looking to 6-0 my opponents with the Corviknight, and yeah, just gotta watch out for Gambit as always. And yeah, let's just hop right into the game. So I lead Samurott, expecting Dragapult, because again I am Scarf, so I'll just go straight for the Ceaseless Edge, trying to gain maximum value turn 1, get a kill and a spike up, but just scout for it, good play on his part. Go straight to Tusk, knowing there's no way I'm going for a water move there, as he's rocking helmet, so that's pretty annoying. I'm gonna have to knock that off eventually because I don't want to keep taking chip, especially with Landers, because Grass Knot actually makes contact, so I don't want to take that either. So yeah, as he goes for spin, it's his best play. I mean, I don't have a ghost type, so there's no reason not to. He doesn't want his Dragapult taking spikes upon switch, so go straight for knock and go to Valiant instead of Corviknight because I don't want that getting knocked off, because he could just spin into knock pretty freely, and Corviknight keeping that at the utmost is very important. So make the offensive play instead, and knock off because I know Amoonguss is coming. Just want to gauge what his item is as he feels to be boots, so I guess it's like boot spam. So yeah, he spores, as Giga Drain's possibly expecting a double, because it's pretty standard play. People expect you to switch, expecting them to capitalize on the sleeping Mon. So, I possibly go to Samurai there expecting Tusk and or Gambit to want to come in, or even Bolt. So that doesn't work out for him, as it just basically gets no health back. As the reason I go Slow King is because I have the Sleep Talk, which is very cool tech, as I'm able to get Silly Reception, which is the best possible thing I could get there, as I'm able to get some momentum into my Landorus. As I think Sleep Talk Soaking is very underrated. I don't know why people don't use it more, because the last slot on Soaking is pretty unnecessary for the most part. Like, people run Surf or Grass Knot, but the thing about Surf is, if you're not weak to Heatran, you don't need that. Especially on this team, I'm definitely not weak to Heatran. I have a Spadef, Lando, and a Samurai. That's like the best you can get into Heatran. Plus close combat on Valiant, like I really don't need that. And then Grass Knot's mainly for organical, Terra Water Garg, but again, I have Thunderbolt, Terra Electric Valiant, so don't care about that either. So I'm like, let me just put Sleep Talk on this, because I don't have a Sleep Absorber. As you can see, I don't have a Grass type, so the thing is, most grass types can switch into Amoonguss anyway, for the most part. So let me throw that on there, and it's been working out beautifully. It also helps with Sneasler, because the worst thing Sneasler can do is like Dire Claw, put you to sleep. And then you can just capitalize on that. Even like random stuff like Lilligant with Sleep Powder, you take advantage of that too. So I think Sleep Talk is really, really nice on Slowking. People really need to use that more. And yeah, so end of that. As I go to my Landorus here, just get up my free rocks. There's not much he can do to me. And rocks is going to help me chip away at the Dragapult. So yeah, he goes to Landorus as I Grass, not knowing that it's possibly sub Landorus the way he brought it in. And so it doesn't break the sub. It's a very low chance to break anyway. The min roll is like 22, so it's doing no damage, though 2 would break the sub. Though it's kind of annoying to take damage in order to do so. Earthquakes, for some reason, I do not know why that was ever clicked. That had to be a misclick, because I don't know what that's supposed to hit. I guess possibly predicting me to go Samurott, because sometimes Samurotts do run Encore and Scar sets. But there's no way I'm doing that. As I Grass Knot there, break the sub. As what I do here? I Grass Knot again. Yeah, Grass Knot again, just to try and break this up if he goes straight at a second time. They're hard to Corviknight, knowing that he's just gonna Earthquake just to get some damage on my Landorus. And I don't want that, because I need that healthy for Polt, Zamazenta, all these things. As a U-turn out, there's no drawback. If he subs again, I am actually packing the Encore on my Samurai, so I can lock him into that and double out, but he doesn't. As again, I'm trying to get basically some type of value out to Samurai. I knock off there, knowing that the Tusk is coming. I don't want to Aqua Cutter and have him stay in or go Amoonguss. That's just the worst case. Actually, no, Amoonguss doesn't matter. What matters is him going to is him staying in with Dragapult. I don't want that, so I just knock off there. It just covers for the Tusk as well. Knock off the helmet, so I'm gonna deal with that later. As once again, he rapid spins. He knocks off my Landorus. I'm going to do that. He doesn't really have great switches to my Landorus anyway. You don't really want to go hard Lando and take 20% for no reason. And nothing else really wants to come in. So that's not there. Punish the Tusk heavily. As I'm able to go for rocks, just in case you wanted to switch out, but no real reason to switch out a 12% Tusk. Pretty much useless at this point. So not a big deal. I do take 10%, but that doesn't really matter. As I'm able to still eat a Spike Shadow Ball from Polt, as you're going to see. So go for Grass and knock him out as he goes to his Polt. He goes to Shadow Ball, possibly expecting me to be his Fizdef, which would knock me out from there, but no, I am the legendary Spadef Landorus. So I'm able to just Earthquake for a ton of chip, 60%. God damn. As I go to the Samurai there, take 44%. That has to be modest. That's doing way too much. As go for Ceaseless Edge, basically checkmate. If he switches the Polt out, his Tusk is dead, so he can't even remove Spikes. So he's in Spikes range, so he's dead upon coming back in. If he stays in, he's dead too. So dead Polt no matter what he does. So knock him out there with the Ceaseless, which is best case. I don't miss, thankfully. As he goes to Gambit, I cannot stay in there, obviously, because I'm choice locked. As I go hard to Cinderace, I don't actually want to go hard to Corviknight, because if he's fast, Terra Dark Gambit will get blown up, so I cannot do that. So go to this first, the best play, burn him to ensure that my Corviknight will win, especially even barring crits and stuff like that. So I do that, then I sack Samurott as the SDs again, but I go to Valiant here instead of going Corv. So it just applies the most pressure. Don't want to Iron Defense and risk crits yet, so just want to be safe about it. As CC there, not playing with the Gambit. Actually, I think I know this team. It's Terra Dark Gambit, so no matter what he did, he would die. I think Expert Belt CC would knock him out even from 90%. Gambit's bulky, so I don't know. It might knock him out though. As it goes to Amoonguss and doubles out. Makes sense. I know you doubled out because no way you sludge, but no way you attack there when I have a sleeping Slowking to take advantage of that in a Corviknight. So there's no way he attacks, and it's pretty low risk to do so anyway. I don't really need Valiant at this point, even if he did somehow predict me to stay in. So yeah, Moonblast there. I double CC'd. Double Moonblast was possibly better because it catches Landorus better, does more damage, straight up to a kill, and it catches Zama too. Whereas CC wouldn't really touch either of them, but either way it works out. Because I guess C predicts me to be choice, but there's no way I'm Scar Valiant and Scar Samurai. It doesn't make any sense. But either way, knock out the Landers, which is nice. As don't gotta worry about that later. I psyched the useless Landers at 2%, no use at this point. And now it's time to just set up and sweep. So start Iron Defensing up, and the game's pretty much over. Scam is burnt, it's not doing anything. So Iron Defense again just to ensure the win, and press and gone. So I think he just forfeits here, yeah, because it's just over. So like I said, Corviknight sweep, and that's that. So we'll be back with the next game. We're back with the third game. My opponent is Storm Zone, pretty well known ladder player. This guy is always like among the top 10 every time you check the ladder. He's, back in the day we called these ladder heroes. I don't know what the kids call them now, but yeah. So got a new team. Actually one of my best teams that I did make, and you guys will be seeing it quite a bit in the next few games. So just going over it, right? It's based around the combination of Specs Hoopa plus U-turn Sneasler. Basically Sneasler, Basin, and U-turns on stuff like Amoonguss, Dondozo, Gholdengo, Great Tusk, Galarian Slowking, and Pex. And then you bring in your Specs Hoopa and collect. So very, very solid combination. Yeah, Specs Hoopa is my favorite set. A lot of people prefer AV, but I really just like the instant power. Just really punishes a lot of teams. Yeah, we're packing Modest Hoopa because Timid is trash. That doesn't do anything. There's quite literally nothing in that speed tier. Like base 80 nowadays is kind of too mid to be running Timid, because you don't outspeed anything. Every base 80 is like Tusk, Bax, Gholdengo, which is above that. So I mean, yeah, you don't need to be Timid. I'm not even max speed on this thing. I have a bit of HP to live certain hits. Like this thing lives non-specs and Amorous Moonblast from full always with HP, with just 8 HP investment, which is crazy. That's how bulky Hoopa is. And yeah, like I said, Specs Hoopa fantastic. Sneasler, I'm actually Protective Pads, which is I think the best set. I actually preferred Bandit when Home first came out, but really opened my eyes to how disgusting Pads is. It's just so free versus stuff like Zapdos, Moltres, and random Rocky Helmet stuff like Corviknight, Amoonguss, things like that. Because you just click Fake Out, and your opponent just always loses a turn, plus the chance to get poisons. Like that's just so nasty. And you get to U-turn out. So this is like the ultimate Chipmon. Very low opportunity cost because it always does something every single game. Unless the opponent has a Gholdengo, like literally always does something. Even Dragapult's not safe. You can U-turn Poison Fish, Dire Claw Fish. It's just so good. Yeah, like Paz Sneasler is amazing. So yeah, pretty much just bulky, like a bulky offense with some Volt Turn. We got Rotom paired up with Sneasler as well. Rotom also based in stuff like Amoonguss. And they can double out from stuff like Clodsire, which my opponent has, into Hoopa. So pretty much same concept. And yeah, my water resist, check to dangerous things like Battle Bond Gren, which has been on the rise. I'm Spadef Rotom, I'm not Fizdef. Fizdef Rotom is not really good in the current meta. It doesn't really do much. Spadef is crucial versus stuff like Greninja, Walking Wake, things of that nature. And yeah, and then we have nice and busted Garganical. This thing is still very, very good and slept on. People are just not preparing for this. People don't really use Coracloak anymore, more like on Gholdengo. But even then, a lot of people prefer Balloon nowadays, and even Specs Gholdengo. So yeah, Garg is very dangerous versus a lot of teams. Really just 6-0s, a lot of them. I'm Curse Garg, Terra Fairy, with the influx and return of Zapdos and Grass Knot Landers, because Terra Water Garg just gets bodied by Zapdos, obviously, and sub Grass Knot Landers can actually PP stall Garg, pretty much force you to waste all your recovery. So I think Fairy is way better in this meta. And yeah, it's very hard to kill. And yeah, it's my Dragapult and Excalibur check. Yeah, so oh yeah, Dragonite as well. So yeah, Garg just fantastic. Pretty much the Glumon on his team. Salt Cure in combination with Fake Out is super disgusting as well. Pretty much means you will never get swept by anything, or if you are on the verge of getting swept by something, you can just Salt Cure them, get chipped. Like Salt Cure plus Fake Out is literally 30% on anything, and then you even have Protect Rotom. So this team could pretty much beat anything dangerous with the combination of Fake Out, Salt Cure, Protect. So that's the thing I love about this team. And yeah, so we got Great Tusk. You gotta have your Great Tusk, bro. My Hazard Control, Gambit answer somewhat, unless they Terra Blast Fairy, but we have other ways to go about dealing with that. And yeah, this is great. I'm Rocks on this, because Rocks isn't on Garg, so Rocks knockoff, and pretty nice spread on this. Have a bit of attack. To Oko, Gholdengo, guaranteed, more offensive variants. And then we have Gholdengo just to round it out. Better fighting resist, because Sneasler is not a good fighting resist, especially into other Sneaslers, Valiant, things like that. And yeah, also, Valiant as well. Enamorous, because I am Balloon. Yeah, very defensive Gholdengo in this team with Thunder Wave to support Hoopa in the speed department. So yeah, just very solid team, very, very solid team. And Storm Zone's using some cheese with Cresselia and Turtle Enamorous. Like, come on, bro, why are you bringing this? And yeah, it's a very just weird team. Just stuff like Clouzar, you don't really see this combination and stuff too much. But yeah, he's got Granicle as well. I'm looking to just body him with my Hoopa. Doesn't really have a good Dark Resist. His Enamorous, I think, is just straight up to a killed by Terra Dark. Dark Pulse, but I actually don't want to Terra Dark in this game. I'm actually looking to Terra Fairy my Garg, because it can't be killed if I do. And actually just sweeps him if I remove the crest. So yeah, Sneasler is a huge issue as well, kinda. I mean, he has Claude, but I can U-turn constantly on it. Garg has a Terra to deal with it, things like that. And it's nice versus stuff like Enamorous and Fish for poisons versus Crest. I really shouldn't get swept by Crest when I have Hoopa and Gholdengo, so I wasn't too concerned about that. My Rotom's annoying, but he has Water Absorb. Clouzar, he has to be Water Absorb, he has no other Water Resist. And Gholdengo's sole purpose is going to be to check the Enamorous Crest. Gholdengo's annoying in general, especially with Balloon. It just completely just sits on Clouzar. He has to be Water Guard to deal with it, which he likely is. So let's just hop right into the game. I lead Sneasler. I felt like it was just the best lead. I CC immediately, basically forcing his hand to Terra. So I do 32%, which is no damage, but that's fine. He Salt Cures there. Health on Sneasler is mostly irrelevant, as I believe U-turn out just to get more chip. As he rocks there, I know he rocks and not Salt Cure again. I click Dark Pulse, is the best play. I don't want a Grass Knot because he has so many answers to Grass Knot. You can go Claude, Enamorous, all these things. So the Dark Pulse there, Dark Pulse again. I think actually Dark Pulse could kill him from there, because based on the CC damage, he's Fizdef. So Dark Pulse modest probably just kills. So Dark Pulse there do 38% to the Enamorous. As I go hard to Garg. to tank the Draining Kiss. I know he'd likely go for that, trying to catch Rotom, though it wouldn't do much. So I mean, yeah, so go for Soul Care there as he starts Iron Defensing up. But it's not really going to sweep me because the combination of Rotom plus Sneasler plus Gholdengo, like, it's just not going to sweep ever. So it goes to Earth Power there, predicting my Gholdengo to want to come out and or just expecting me to not want to Terra Garg and stay in. But why would I stay in there when he's Iron Defensed? So go to Rotom. Go for Wisp, just the best play all around. Not even really predicting Claude, but really just covers everything. If he stays in with the Enamorus, okay, I burn it. If it goes Claude, I burn it too. So now my Garg actually just sits on him. I don't even need to Terra to beat this 1v1. Because now Earthquake's doing like I think around like 16%, something bad like that. So go to Garg here as he Toxics, predicting Tusk. And here Earthquake, knowing he's just gonna stay in because how Storm Zone likes to play. Toxics again. Don't know why. I had no reason to double there. Either Spike or you switch out. I don't know why he double Toxic. Expecting some type of crazy play, but I had no reason to do that. I was expecting to pivot into Hoopa, but again, I had no reason to do that, as I heavily punished the Claude there for 50%. Now Sneasler is a huge issue for him. I believe Terra Fighting would definitely kill Garg from 70%, even after Protect. So I'm in a driver's seat right now. Soul Care there because it covers for Crest, which pretty much has to come in and or Tusk. So I get a nice free damage there around what, 12%. Yeah. So on double 2 Sneasler is very low risk to do so, because Crest run stored power. That would never do any type of damage. Like, why would you store power there? It also covers for any doubles. I don't know. Like, it's just the best play because I can basically what I'm going for there is adding up the Soul Cares plus Fake Out U-Turn, which would essentially kill the Crest. But he goes to Tusk because I probably wouldn't Soul Cure again. Doesn't really make much sense. As here, that's what I'm talking about. Fake Out, yet he loses a turn, plus I get free 30% on the Tusk. So that's pretty nasty. As I'm able to U-turn out into my own Tusk. My own Tusk is pretty useless in this game. It's free setup fodder for Enamorus, Crest. All it really does in this game is spin and get at rocks. So that's what I'm gonna do. His Tusk can't even stand on mine, which is usually what people would do. But since he's at 57% poison, you just cannot do that. So spin there is free, as I do not want Rocks Up, don't want Rotom, and well, Rotom not as much, but really Hoopa and stuff like that taking damage upon coming in. So Draining Kiss is there, as I Soul Cure. Again, I'm never going hard Gholdengo yet, because I don't want my balloon popped for nothing. As he goes Crest and doubles out to Tusk. So I'll play on his part. I go to my own Tusk to eat the knock, and or just eat a Headlong Rush if you had that. Don't want to just die there. Though I don't think HP invested Hoopa will ever die to that from full. So go for Rocks. As the Ice Spinners wins the speed tie. Basically hoping I win the speed tie here, because having Rocks plus kill his Tusk in one go is amazing for me. But he wins a speed tie twice, which is annoying. As I basically get nothing out the turn. So besides killing the Tusk, which is not really important to kill, but I actually switched to Tusk out because I actually don't want to give it up just yet, because I'm able to spin later because it's his Rocker and his Spiker are still alive. So I go to my Rotom. I will switch out. No, he's not going to switch out this time. So I double out, you're in trouble. On the Clodsire, that is. As I go hard to my Gholdengo as he Calm Minds again. Just far off from Making Rain is safe. It will still do a ton of damage because the Enamorus T is actually really not that bulky at all. It will still get cooked, even at +2. So Making Rain is safe. As I pull the Harshness into my Hoopa, expecting him to actually recover and Stealth Rock, but he Soul Cures, making the worst of the 3 plays, because I think you definitely recover there, because now Hoopa can 2 kill you, but not Hoopa, Sneasler. But he does catch me there, as I don't need health in my Hoopa, which is why I did this. A Dark Pulse again. If I Terra Dark, he was dead, which is crazy. He would have just died. But I don't want to Terra Dark, like I said. Terra Fairy Garg is a lot better in this game. Come on, yeah. As sorry, I clicked something there. As he Psychics, crazy play. I guess really expecting me to not want to leave the Hoopa in, which makes sense. Any drain punches there. Gets quite a bit of health back as he reversed to be sub, which is interesting. I'm assuming this is for Garganigal or like Pex versus Stall. I don't know. Earthquake there because it breaks up, whereas Salt Cure does not. Drain punches again, gets health back. It's pretty annoying. Basically wasting all my recovers here, but I don't want to Terra just yet. I want to make sure that once I Terra, like once I commit to it, that is what I want to do. I don't know if I want to Terra Dark Hoopa or if I want to Terra Fairy Garg, but this is likely what I want to do because Curse, after Curse, Garg will beat Hoopa anyway. That's why I didn't Terra just yet. But he goes hard to Cloud as he just gets the spike up and dies. As I EQ immediately, knock that out. So now Rotom is freed up, get his Volt Switch all over his team. He starts Calm Minding with Crest. I saw Cure there to wear this down turn by turn. As I go hard to Rotom on the Moonblast, does absolutely no damage because Crest sucks. As I Volt Switch out, just racking up the chip. I'm gonna go Dango here. As I believe I clicked Thunder Wave. Yeah, basically to stop this thing. As I goes hard to Garg, go play on his part. I go to my own Garg. Because he's water, Salt Cure is gonna destroy him now, so that's good. As he rocks up there, I will be able to remove those. I think this turn, yeah, because I know you want to Salt Cure that turn. That's a bad play. But if you did, my Tusk would be dead. But no, it wouldn't die actually because I'm Boots. But I would have to switch out the following turn to not die after he protects. As I go to my Tusk, basically get the spin off, can have the rocks and spikes up. That's way too annoying. I wish I could get rocks up this game, but it was just too much pressure to do so. I can't spin and get up rocks. That's too big of an axe. As he knocks me out, but it's my best play to spin there. As I go to Hoopa, just to fire off a Dark Pulsinator. As he goes back to his own Hoopa again. Very annoying as he hyperspaces. Rotom gets rocked, but at this point I don't really need Rotom. It's not really doing much of anything. It's really just fodder for all these Calm Minders. Most it can do is burn. As I go to Sneasler there, very free Dire Claw. As I really wouldn't go hard to Garg. I think Garg can eat Dire Claw into CC, but no way you risk that. Because 2 CCs will knock you out. So Dire Claw knock out the Anemoris. As I go to my own Garg, is my best play. It's my only play really. As I'm able to Salt Cure him back. He really has no switching or counterplay at this point. He rocks there on some desperation stuff as he's getting demolished by the Salt Cure. As I recover here I go to Sneasler again, aggressive on the Crest. I think basically trying to poison fish. Fake out here, I get the poison immediately, which is nice as I U-turn out, so for a combined like 40%. Go Dango, and with this poison, even at +2 is still not gonna be able to win the game. So because I can just Hex, it's doing 37, so a combination of poison, that's 40% every turn. Unless he decides to Calm Mind again, but again, that's not even going to be enough. So I keep spamming Hex is the best play. Hex, 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 Hex as he dies, even after he Calm Minded a third time. So here the game's pretty much over. I go to Garg, and believe I don't even Terra this game. So that's funny, as I just Salt Cure, Curse into Salt Cure, ensure that I win. So, and that's a good game. So yeah, I'm like 19. Yeah, I'm like low 1900s at this point. But yeah, solid game, and we move on to the next. Fourth game, my opponent is Anime Fan. His actual name on forums, I believe, is Clean. Yeah, solid player, and I just hop right into it. So he has a pretty standard team, which I like to see. And yeah, what I'm trying to do in this game is position Hoopa well. And just blow things apart. Tingle is not safe. Specs Grass not. Does over 60%. So I catch that one time. Then I can just start clicking Dark Pulse versus Pack Zapdos, stuff like that. And yeah, so Sneasler is absolutely useless this game. He has a Pex and a Polt, which you never want to see that when using Sneasler. Polt by itself, that's fine, but when you have Pex too, it's like, damn, like, just not good. So I'm gonna throw that into a lot of things because I just don't need it to win. Rotom is massively annoying, especially since I'm Spadef. I can actually just sit on Dragapult, eat Draco, and burn him back or Volt out. Zapdos, if it's just Volt Switch, not Thunderbolt, because they like to run Thunder Wave instead of a second electric stab now. So I can just sit on that for free. And yeah, Rotom is very annoying for his team. Organical is also something I'm trying to nerf. I can actually just 6-0 him. It is going to take some patience. I need to firstly remove his Tusk and weaken the Tinglu. I say weaken Tinglu because he can roll me out, and I don't want that. So I want to get that to really like 30-20%, which is very possible with the combination of Hoopa and Goldengo overloading it. Or even Rotom, just hydro up in it a couple times, because people like to switch Tinglu into Rotom. So if I can do that, then my Garg just wins the game. And it really just sets up on a lot. Pex, Polt, Zap, like, is very free versus a lot of things, even Tusk. And yeah, looking to win with that. And this Walls a lot of his team too. Walls, Polt, Pex, and Zap. Tusk is pretty annoying actually. It's pretty difficult for him to deal with outside Zapdos. Really just knocks everything off. And having Rocks up plus Zapdos knocked is going to be very, very nice. It's just good. And then Goldengo, it's pretty mid this game. I mean, it checks specs, but other than that, it's pretty much it. I mean, he has a Gambit and a Tinglu, and I don't have Focus Blast, so it's not useless, but it's not that good. Sneasler is definitely more useless though. And yeah, looking for a Garg sweep, and let's just hop right into the game. So it was a very good one. So use a Polt. I'll do a Garg. No elite Polt, because Polt is good versus everything on my team. As this gives me the opportunity to fire off a Salt Cure and chip away at Tusk. It's a crit, pretty irrelevant. As I Salt Cure the Tusk, reveals to be leftovers. As get my chip, I switch hard out to Sneasler, knowing that people always knock Garg, they never click Earthquake. This doesn't make much sense, because if I Terra, you don't gain anything from that. So I know you knock there, as I'm able to throw in Sneasler. Like I said, not good in this game. And I don't really need the pads at all. So I believe I U-turn here. Yeah. If he stays in, staying in is actually not a good play. Taking Fake out, plus Soul Cure adding up, and that's what I meant about that combination. Is very nasty, especially versus Tusk. It doesn't want to stay in there and get poison on top of that. It's just not the play to make. So definitely switch there to Pex. U-turn out into Hoopa. Great, get that in turn 4. As our grass not aggressive, but I knew it would work, because people get scared and never stay in with Pex. Honestly, if I were him, I would have stayed in, because Pex is not really that good versus me. Outside Sneasler, it doesn't exactly wall anything. So I guess he wants to keep that haste possibility in case I am a setup Garg, which makes sense. And I mean, Tinglu, it's only good versus Hoopa anyway, so this makes sense to just switch into that. You won't die to any one hit. So I Grass Knot again, actually expecting him to expect me to want to double out, and really just not playing with the Tinglu, because people like to make plays like that. They expect you to predict the resist to come out and go for hazards. That's just worst case. Let me just knock out the Tinglu and go for Grass Knot again is low risk. I still get big damage on something that's not Pex. Even Gambit, I think it would take maybe 30%, because Gambit is pretty heavy. Or no, I think it would still. Yeah. So Grass Knot again, I get paralyzed, which is very annoying. I actually have Trick on this Hoopa, but now since I'm slow, I won't be able to trick the Gambit in case that gets out of hand later. And I'm actually slower than Tinglu while paralyzed, because I'm not max speed, so that's annoying. As the Volt Switch is out there, makes sense. As I go to Rotom instead of Garg, because Garg would just invite in Tinglu or Tusk, what I don't want. So I go to Rotom Protect just to get a bit of HP back and see what he goes for. He Draco's there, so that's never killing me, because I am split out for Rotom. So go straight for the Wisp. Polt's actually pretty annoying, provided I don't Terra Garg early. And I want to get this chipped so that I am not forced to do that actually. So get that Wisp off, which is very nice. As I don't think the next Draco would ever kill me, which is why I Volt Switch, otherwise I would have protected, but doesn't really make sense for him to stand. Let me get Lefties back and take Burn, just the Draco to not kill, so no, he'd switch out there anyway. Volt Switch into Garg is the best play, as I do here. He Roost as I Soul Cure, which is my only play. as I believe I suck here again. Yeah, no reason not to, as he's just gonna volt switch out if he does stay in. As I go to my own Tusk, I could have went to Sneasler, but I didn't want him earthquaking that time and just dying for no reason. Dying wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but just sacking stuff is not the move. So I go to my own Tusk. I don't necessarily need my boots in this game because this Tingle is not going to be able to get up spikes easily. As I rocks there, because he's Soul Cured, again, his Tusk cannot stay in. That's so such a beautiful thing about this team. It's like when you poison or Soul Cure other Tusk and then you bring in your own Tusk on their Tusk, it's like they can't even stand and take all that damage. So they're forced to switch, so they can't even spin on you. So you get up free rocks, which is very nice. As I go for my rocks there, now here, I make a very aggressive play. The Zapdos is getting annoying. And what I don't want is my Rotom in I'm not going Rotom there ever and taking 20% from Volt and pretty much being dead at that point. I don't want him having the position of Tingle and or Tusk versus Garg. Then I'm forced to go back to Tusk and take a Ruination. Like, I don't want that. Basically, I'm forcing him to lose a turn here. Go for knock. I know he'd never Hurricane. Hurricaning into Garg is just so bad. I lose a lot of momentum, and I knew that because if I go Garg, I Soul Cure, get more damage on Tusk. You're in a very uncomfortable situation. So I know he doesn't want that. I know he'd try to predict me to. He predict me to want to keep my Tusk, which makes a lot of sense, and I knew that. So I knock him off. Did a nice 26% off the Zapdos, and I take his boots. So now every time he comes in, he's not gonna go unpunished. So I'll go to Hoopa. It's my best play. Just to take advantage of this, as I'm able to just fire off a Dark Pulse, as the Tingle takes, I think, 18%. Yeah, that's a good chip. Like I said, remember, this being so low means you cannot Whirlwind anymore, because from this range, I think he dies a +1 EQ from Garg. So go to Rotom just to get some health back, and I know you go for hazards. Definitely not the play to stay in the Hoopa and get earthquaked and or have him get up hazards and me not kill. This doesn't make sense. Go for Pump there. Very safe to do so. If he goes to Pote, he's taking rocks plus burn and pump. That's like 40% plus protect. That's really not a situation you want to be in. So I don't think you even go to Pote there. You could have went to Pex, but it's like, okay, I'll Volt Switch out. Then what do you do? And I bring in Garg. So use a Tingle and just sacking it. I understand it, because at that point, 20% Tingle is not very good anymore. He goes a Pote, I'm able to protect, get some lefties back, and he takes burn, which is fantastic. As again, able to scout. I'll go to Godengo, because at this point, they didn't even have a balloon. I'll always eat a hit from his Tusk anyway, as I'm able to recover off the Draco damage. Don't want to go to Garg, take a Draco for no reason, to be forced to recover. Again, just playing in a way where you can never really go to Tusk. As I thought he was there, expecting a Volt Switch out, but he Hurricanes in Volt Switches, which is a good play. Though if I was Nasty Plat, that would have not worked out for you. But he gets the play right, as a recover there is always my best play. As he goes hard to Tusk, I believe I stay in here, because why not? I always lever EQ, because I'm a very bulky Godengo. As I go to Sneasler, I believe. Is it EQ again? Yeah. But at this point, I don't need Sneasler. Only thing is good against is Gambit, which I have ways to deal with that. As I go to my Tusk, I EQ there. Worst case is me spinning as he switches out to Zapdos. That's just not a situation you want to be in. No reason to give me a free spin, so he decides to lead the Tusk in. Either this was a speed tie or he's very slow Tusk. Either way, I'm able to knock him out. As here, go to Garg. I believe he roosts. No, he Hurricanes, predicting me to predict him to roost. But I'm not going to stay in that time, because Tusk is actually good to keep for Gambit. So he was there. I believe I curse. Yeah, because it's time to try and just win the game. And at this point, he's extremely weak to Garg. Both of his best answers are dead, to the point where he has to go to Pex and Haze, which is really not the best, because Pex, especially not Cobra Cloak, is not beating Garg. Soul Cure plus EQ is doing way too much, 50% every turn. And on top of that, I have a bit of speed EVs on this Garg, so I am faster if he's uninvested Pex, which you really shouldn't be if you're Haze. Should have like 8 speed for stuff like Hattering, but in any case, I'm able to just curse again because, okay, if he stays in, he's taking 25% once more. And here, I decided to commit to Terra. I don't need to Terra anything else at this point. Pretty important skill to have, just realizing what to Terra at what time. You gotta like scroll over the team. That's what I do. I'm like, well, Terra Dark, useless. Terra and Hoopa makes no sense. Terra Ghost, Rotom is useless. Things like that. Terra Water, Tusk, I don't need to do that. So I'm like, well, at this point, just Terra the Garg. Don't even risk a Draco crit there, which actually could have knocked me out if I didn't Terra. I actually misplay and Soul Cure. EQ would actually knock him out from 50%, because it's still stronger than Soul Cure. It didn't really matter, but it's still a misplay nonetheless. I just forgot that it does less. So he has an extra sack for nothing, but it's fine. It is not a big deal. It just wasn't the play to Soul Cure there. I should have EQ'd. And Soul Cure the Pex. Once again, you cannot beat me 1v1 because Soul Cure EQ is just doing way too much. And he's pretty much dead because he can't even recover that off. So, nice. Pex is gone. As he goes to Gambit. My best place is Soul Cure. I never die to even fall into Iron Head because Garg is very bulky indeed. And just, add that chip up. Psycho Dingo. It's outsped by Zapdos and Potent and dies, so don't need it anymore. I go to my Rotom just to burn him. I'm able to just basically something getting burnt. If he sacks Potent, okay. If he goes Zap, I burn that. So protected here. Rotom's been pretty much at 50% this whole game. That's funny. And the Evo switches out into Polt to sack it. This is what I mean. If he didn't have that sack, it would have been much different end game. But in any case, I'm able to, I believe I start, I don't know, I think I Volt, I don't pump. Why would I pump? I pump basically to waste more Roost. And then I believe I will Volt out here. Yeah. And bring in Tusk. At this point, 2 Earthquakes. I am slightly offensive, like I told you guys before, so 2 Earthquakes will easily 2 kill from here. Even if he's Terra Blast Fairy, that means that he can't kill Garg, because Terra Blast says no more on Iron Head. So Iron Head to Suck Punch is never killing me with Fallen 5, and yeah, very solid game, and we'll be back. 5th game versus Soul Wind, and I just wanted to show this game because just funny stuff happened. So using our pretty weird rain team. This team's not good mostly because it's very Garg weak. I do have sub Calm Mind Valiant to set up on it, but yeah, just overall very weak to Garg. It's outplayable, but yeah, and some other things too, like no hazard control is annoying. But it's a very fun team. So I'm using Specs Battle Bond Gren, pretty trendy right now. I'm modest Specs, so nothing is safe, and I'm using that over Life Orb because I just like it better. I don't like taking damage, and yeah, just very Gen 7-esque type of set. And Cloud basically check all the electric types, and can Gambit and Valiant as my sweepers. I am Balloon Gambit in case Max Caliber gets out of control, and Zapdos is pretty mandatory on Rain. And yeah, so let's hop right into it. Soulwind's water resists are very poor. He pretty much has to Terra Water something turn 1 if he doesn't want to get swept by Greninja. So I'm assuming that'll be Garg, which is what most people would do if they don't have a water resist. But yeah, let's hop right into it. So I lead Pelipper, very standard. I know you lead Garg, but the reason I did this is because I want to knock this off immediately. It's a huge issue for my team, as you can see. I don't really have much to deal with this besides Valiant, which I don't want to send in early. I was there. Just to stay a bit more healthy for the Zamazenta. I can actually eat Stone Edge later on from 60%, I believe. So I knock into U-turn on Garg, which is actually very crucial. That adds up. No leftovers Garg is much easier to deal with. As I get a very crucial, it may not look like it, but it's very, very important 13%. As I go to Cloud's Eye here, it Soul Cures again. Makes sense. I mean, what am I going to switch into this? As I Stealth Rock here as he Earthquakes. So this is like the worst possible set I could face. I could deal with non-Earthquake Garg, but Earthquake is very annoying because now Valiant can't even set up on this. So this is crazy counter team. As I'm just joking. As he pretty much destroys my Cloud there. Soul Cures again, predicted. as I gotta pretty much outplay this Organical very carefully to not get smashed. So I recover there, knowing he's gonna try hard Salt Cure, trying to catch one of my flying types. Salt Cures again, predicting that it's pretty safe to recover the second time because I'm out of Earthquake range. So I'll catch him there, as I believe what I'll do here, Earthquake, just to get a bit more damage, because Earthquake would put him in range of Zapdos Thunder, guaranteed, stuff like that, at the rocks. So Tingle comes in, takes no damage from that, as he rocks up, as I Toxic, knowing that he is going to do something beside Earthquake, Ruination, whatever. I just knew he wouldn't Earthquake there. As I switched to Cloud out, finally, it's been staying in for like 20,000 turns. As I go to Pelipper, he's throwing at me on the switch, a very solid play. Pretty obvious, but I mean, at that point, I don't really need Pelipper. I just need my Rain up so that my Gren can start smacking things with pumps. As surprised I even died to that, because I'm Fizz Def Pelipper, but it is still Stone Edge, and Tingle is pretty strong. So I go to my Gren, just click Pump. Garg can even come in if the range is sat with Rain up, and I'm Spec Psych, bro. That's not a switch in. So I get my Battle Bond, nice +1 everything, nice Quiver Dance, as I turn into a Super Water type. Again, I'm modest, Specs in the rain, Terra Water. This guard is gonna get blown back. So so hit him with that big pump. I knew from I actually calculated the damage on Pelipper, knock what minimum 6%. So I know he was Fizz Def, the standard Garg spread, which is like 156 Fizz Def, 100 Spit Def. So I know he'd die to this. Like, that's just too much power, bro. It's too much power. And he was a Zamazenta. I said, this is gonna live somehow. You better be Assault Vest. Even then, you're dead. So I'll pump again. So this one, I'm like, let's just win. So that's enough to kill 2 Zamazentas. If you actually calculate, the minimum damage is actually 170% to 200. So just kill a whole family of those. And he goes to gold. Again, my boy, you better be Assault Vest. Gone. And yeah, so I'm just not even switching out. Don't even care. I could have switched this out and then came back Water Shuriken, which is what I actually would have did. Because Tusk actually just straight up dies to 2 Shuriken hits, just straight up with Terra Water in the rain. There's no chance of living. And yeah, so Grand Massacre. And yeah, very fun game. Alright, guys, we got the 6th game versus my good friend CTC. So everybody knows who this is, but yeah, and I was actually laddering the night that we played. I was actually making sure that I didn't get him, or there was low chance I would get CTC, because like, you don't want to face your friend and then it's like one of you lose, and it's like, damn, you don't really, like, one of you losing points. It's like, it's not a great situation. So I was just trying to have him play his own games, and I was trying to play mine. I would like refresh a bunch to make sure that he's in the game before I even load it up. But yeah, I did get him. I wasn't trying to snipe or anything like that. I don't do that. I don't care for that. I'm just trying to play you. I want to win fairly. I don't care about that sniping stuff. But yeah, we actually ended up playing, and yeah, so this is the game. He's using a very, very fat team. I've seen this team quite a few times. Pretty much semi-stall with offensive sub Landorus, and then there's a bunch of fat guys in the back. Dozo, Tingu. It's very standard. Triple ground is nasty work. I don't know about this. But it works for the people that have used this team, so I can't say anything. And yeah, using the team once again. I'm looking to smack him with Specs Hoopa, though. Very weak to that. If I catch that Tingle, usually like with Hoopa and then they have Tingle, it's all about catching it just one time with Grass Knot, then just going crazy with Dark Pulse. This is usually what happens, but yeah, so that's what I'm aiming to do. Even then, I could just weaken Tingle without doing that and then going with Dark Pulse, but I digress. As Sneasler is pretty, I would say, useless, because he has Galarian, Slowking, Landers. Like, he's pretty annoying. Like, Landers just sets up on it, subs up for free. But as you're gonna see, it's gonna end up doing work still, despite that. Yeah, Galarian Slowking is like the best counter you can have. Rotom is actually massively annoying for his team. I mean, how wouldn't it be versus 3 ground types? A Dozo, a Zapdos that is semi-wall, so Rotom is very important in this game. I don't want to switch it into Tusk and get knocked, that's horrible. Yeah, with this team, usually I just switch Tusk into opposing Tusk. Actually, letting Rotom get knocked is pretty bad. Garg pretty much sweeps. I need the Tingle and Tusk weakened, however, because, you know, like I said, it can Whirlwind, you know, things like that. But Tusk don't necessarily need Tusk weakened, but it's ideal. But yeah, pretty much the only thing standing in this way is Tinglu, and that's it. Or like Terra Dozo. Sub Landers is annoying, but with enough curses, Soul Cure is gonna break this up. So that's what I'm aiming for. Tusk, you know, Tusk is Tusk. It can spin freely because there's no Ghost type, so I can always bring that in on Tinglu. It's pretty much only purpose is to check the Tinglu. It doesn't really do much else. Rock's okay, but it seems like he has boots on everything between Dozo, Zap, and Slowking. Godengo is midish because I'm assuming that's Spadef, Dozo, and then he has Tinglu as well. So is this? I mean, Balloon is like okay, but yeah. Either way, I'm looking to sweep a Garg and break his team with Hoopa first. And Rotom's very annoying too. Does we have many annoying? Well, Landers is annoying. But other than that, I can do everything. So let's just hop into the game. I believe I'll lead with Hoopa, right? Yeah, because Hoopa just beats everything. Yeah, so I just Dark Pulse. He goes Zapdos mid ground. Actually, solid play because Zapdos is not very useful into Organical ends, but that for Rotom, it's just not. So, and he knew he'd eat anyone hit. He doesn't want to go hard single. If I Grass Knot, he's cooked. So there's pretty good mid ground. It covers for both Dark Pulse and Grass Knot because it eats both. And there's no way I'm going to Terra Dark turn 1. That doesn't make sense. Committing Terra that early, especially when it has a Tinglu at 100%. So, there was a Tinglu there. Volt Switch is out. I know the team know that this doesn't have U-turn. Which really people should start using more. I mean, Zapdos with U-turn is used, but not as much as Volt Switch. So Dark Pulse there is safe as the Volt Switch is out. I double to Sneasler, knowing that no way an Earthquake is coming. Either Rocks or Ruination they're expecting Tusk. And Sneasler at this point is the least useful, so I throw it in. It also covers for the Zapdos double, which he does make. I assume he predicted Tusk, which makes a lot of sense. So there's very solid plays on his part, even though they didn't work out because I made the opposite mid ground, but still good play on his part. Just covering for the possibility of that. As our U-turn out, it doesn't kill Zap from there, but he's not gonna stay in. Even if he does, I can get a poison and punish him for that. As I'm able to get the switch back to Hoopa. Goes to Tingle, confident that I wouldn't Grass Knot. So he's making solid plays right now. As this Dark Pulse deck is safe, and CDC is kind of crazy, so he might have stayed in there. And Soaking, I don't know if he'll live. I think it does like 88% min though, so it's not really something you want to risk. I could just Dark Pulse for free. He does Spike on my switch to Tusk, as I knock the Tinglu first. Also, well no, he would never go to Zap because he just died a spin. But really, I know he's staying with the loop. So I knock him first, which is going to be very crucial for Hoopa Garg later on, because now he cannot heal anything off. So I spin there because I want spikes up. Garg taking that, kind of meh, I don't want that. As he spikes again as I rocks, is really aiming to chip away at the Landers and the Tinglu. As I spin there, again, I do not want spikes up on my side. I knock his item off, reveals to be leftovers. Again, important for opening up Garg. So Garg is slowly finding his way through with Tusk and Tinglu being chipped away. So I knock as he EQs me for 30%. Not a big deal. Again, my Tusk is not very good into his team anyway, so I don't mind that too much. I go to my Goldengo here. I click Hex. I actually changed the gold in case somebody wanted to snipe, and with some King Gambit stuff, I actually changed it from Make It Rain to Focus Blast. Ghost fighting is perfect coverage anyway, so that's not too big a deal. As that's why I didn't click Make It Rain there, because I don't have it. Otherwise, I would have used it there. So I click Hex just for maximum damage. He spins. They do something like that, expecting Rotom to want to come in. It's pretty obvious. So they'll catch him there. Also, Spin covered for me Terraring as well, but I'm never gonna Terra Go. Terra Go is not really good in this game, because then I just get like, cooked by Slowking. So maybe go for something that's not Earthquake, basically. Hex again. Now your Earthquake's not wanting to play around, because if I stay in again as you spin, you're done. So this is what I was aiming for. I don't want my rocks being spun away, so I decided to go Dingo at that point, as I believe I fake out, because U-turn. Oh wait, no, U-turn kills Tusk from there. As I bring in Hoopa once again. Now Dark Pulse is gonna really be punishing the Tinglu. Leftover is gone and rocks up, so that's fantastic. He sacks the Tusk though, because it's at 3%. It's pretty much useless. Spinning away rocks doesn't really matter. His half his team is boots, so it's pretty relevant. As he goes to Landers, I believe he's straight up Earthquakes, not playing around. Because I Dark Pulse on his sub, you're just wasting HP. You just don't want to play around with Hoopa, and I've been playing pretty aggressively so far. So you're probably expecting me to understand, but I'm not going to. As Hoopa is pretty nice to keep versus Slowking, Dondozo, and Issa from Zap at this point too. So it's far for a pretty safe Hydro Pump. In case you wanted to sub fish for misses, then I burn the Slowking. Burning Slowking is actually going to be very, very vital, because that means Sneasler is actually forcing progress versus it. A combination of fake out U-turn plus burn, that's 40% every time. So eventually the Slowking won't be able to check Sneasler anymore if I play correctly, as he's finally able to get the zap in after around 20 turns and get the roost off, which is good for him. As I burn it just to will it to my turn. And yeah, so that's nice. And I believe I pumped there, knowing that he probably pivot to Tinglu and or cover for the stand too. But worst case is him going to Tinglu as I volt switch. That's just horrible. Then he's able to get up a spike, you have to pump, then it's like I have to find an opportunity to get Tusk in at a later time, and I don't want double hazards up, so that's just, yeah. So I just pumped there, again catching the Tinglu, which is very good for me, as doesn't want to sack it just yet, wants to keep his sacks, goes to Slowking, good play, as I believe I volt out, yes, into Sneasler, because Slowkings don't run Psychic, and even if he did have that, he wouldn't do that, and let Hoopa in for free for another kill. So yeah, he chilies out, which is his best play. No reason to future say anything like that. It's not really going to help him, really. I believe I fake out here. Yeah, like I said, fake out plus burn is 20%, then U-turn, I think 28, so it's actually around 50%. Nice. So I get Rotom in again, because positionally is good versus everything he can chili out into. So I have the positional advantage right now. He roost up, trying to keep the zap healthy. I don't know, I mean, healthy zap not really relevant, but it makes sense. There's no other reason to not roost there, as he volt switches out on my Garg, and because CDC is a good player, he knows that if he goes to Landers on Soaker, that's pretty horrible, because like you're taking rocks, Soaker, and Soaker residuals, so like the Landers is pretty much dead at that point. Not dead, but it's very low. And really nothing else can come in on this. Obviously Dozo's not coming in, so pretty low risk Earthquake here. Is either gonna roost, either gonna roost or go to Slowking there. Earthquake again, because you don't want me salt curing the following turn into Landers. Now that's actually bad, and he'd probably predict me to do that. And yeah, so just Earthquake there, knowing that he'd probably just stay in, expecting some sort of aggro play. So I'll get rid of Slowking, which is very nice. So now Sneasler is very threatening at this point, because Dozo doesn't really want to come in on that, taking fake out U-turn. And then, Landers, have double poison chance with the, fake out U-turn combo. So here, decide it's the right time to commit to my Terra. I'm not going to Terra anything else in this game. Yeah, so I'm like, let's just start cursing up, so I can beat this Landers 1v1. Like I was saying, if I was Water Guard, it could actually stall me out of recovers, but since I am Fairy, he cannot. Start cursing up. I actually need 2 curses, I think, to break Landers Silver Soaker, because it's such a weak move. As yeah, I do go for that second curse. He's just spamming Grass Knot. It does more than Earthquake at this point. as I believe I Soul Cure here, break the sub. And yeah, I just spam Soul Cure. I'm not letting you use sub, bro. So break that as you keep summing down, basically expecting me to do something else, but I have no reason not to. Keep Soul Curing as essentially force the Tinglu sack, and that goes down. Goes to Dozo, reveals that he's Terra Dark. Has to Terra at that point to not get bodied by Soul Cure. So Soul Cure first, just to get my necessary chip. Go to Rotom on the liquidation. Basically just adding up at this point. So his Dozo's already at 71%. I burn him too, so he's not going to be doing any type of damage. So burn plus Soul Cure puts him at 50%. Has to rest this turn, I know that, so I'll go to my Tusk. It's no risk to do so. And now I spin. The Stuff Rocker is dead, so that means I can just switch around for free for the rest of the game, which is fantastic. I don't necessarily need to knock the Dozo's boots off. I don't need to do that at all. So go to my Hoopa. I don't have Focus Blast. I don't need it because a lot of my team deals with Gambit, and it's just unsafe. And like it's the same. Like Grass Knight hits the same things, mainly Tinglu, for the same damage. So anyway, go for Grass Knot there. It does 50% still to Dozo, despite him no longer being a water type. He's so heavy, and does decent damage to Zap too because it's also heavy. So do 28%. Grass Knot again, actually expecting a roost, because at that point I do like 50-ish%. So the point where you can't roost anymore, and I don't need health on my Hoopa for any reason. All I need it for is the Dozo later on. So I mean he's Terra Dark, so Sneasler bodies him now. So yeah, as I click pump, basically force him to waste some roost to eventually kill this annoying Zapdos. And I believe I pump it. Yeah, just wasting roost. Wasting pumps doesn't matter because my Garg will always beat the Sublanders 1v1. So that was what I was going for there. As I believe I fake out because it is very free. Guarantee that I put him in Dire Claw range. As I U-turn out, trying to get a poison on this. He smacks down, predicting me to go Rotom and not Garg. Does not matter. I would have Rotom just in case he earthquaked. I would gain a lot of momentum there that I can fire pumps. At that point, it'll just be over. But he just catch me there. So nice play as I protect, get some more poison damage, exactly what I was talking about. All the residuals adding up, and he goes hard to Dozo as I believe I recover there. In case you wanted to earthquake, as he dies to poison. Always my play to recover there. So Soul Cure liquidates for no damage, and the game is over because Sneasler actually sweeps at this point. I just come in CC. I live liquidation with ease. And Landis is dead to rocks. It's just over at this point. So very, very solid game. I like this game a lot. And yeah, move on to the next one. This should be the last of the few games. Yeah, I don't want this going on for too long, but yeah, new team. Actually really love this one. I used it in Cycle 2 to make it to 2K. Unfortunately didn't make it because the deadline was absolute trash. Who makes a deadline on a Friday at 12 p.m. when people work? Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, yeah. So this team, it's a very, very handsome team we got. Let's get into it. I love this one. So it's based around the combination of backs plus Slowking. Nice ice body. In the snow and that +1 defense, getting leftovers back, just very cool to me. It's always been very cool to me. I'm banded backs, very strong set right now. People don't use good checks to it. Even if they do, you can break through them, with Terra Grave Rush, things like that. And yeah, so Tinglu is my check to Zapdos and Ghost types. Zamazenta is my pretty fast, speed control sweeper. Pretty much clears a lot of end games when you remove the Zapdos, Godango, stuff like that. Corviknight plus Cinderace form my hazard control. I'm actually, defog and court change, so that backs has very little chances to take rocks. And yeah, Corviknight's my great touch check. A lot of things check. These are the opposing max caliber. But yeah, the reason I scrapped this team eventually is two problems. One, can't really break stall because they just turn into a fairy type with the Dondozo or Pex and just wall you forever. and there's not much you can do. They always just scout and then switch again. Future Sight plus Whirlwind works versus Protect Blissey, but still, you have to get the right thing every time. Like, you really have to pull, like, packs or something like that for it to even do anything. So, yeah, it's a very annoying matchup. Not exactly doable. Second issue is no knockoff. As you can see, nothing on this team learns knockoff, so I can't really force progress versus those types of teams. But other than that, it's almost a perfect team. I did make a new version that fixes all those issues, and I'll be showing that soon. But that's for a later day. So yeah, I really love this team. And yeah, my opponent is using, I think, what they call the German 6, but he, for some reason, replaced Enamorus with Dragapult. So now he's cooked by ground types. Very, nice self-sabotage there. But yeah, looking to sweep with my Zamok is very weak to that, like extremely so. Seeing the weaken the Dragapult, and yeah, just very weak to that. No other conditions really need to be met. I guess figure out if his Gambit is Terrablast Fairy. And yeah, so let's hop right into the game. So I lead with Big Backs, as it threatens everything on his team. Can even have a chance to Oko Polt from full with Bandit Ice Shard. So I like with that. Though I do switch to my Corviknight here because I am not risking a Speed Tire turn 1. He actually risked a turn 1 for no reason. An Esco Crash, which wouldn't have killed me. So if I decided to just Glaive Rush, he would have been done. But yeah, very dumb play on his part, honestly. But works out because I do switch, not risking things this early, as I ruse to stay healthy later on to be able to take those Esco Crashes. As I go to Sloping, pretty much the least useful member. It's not doing much. All it does is check Cinderace, so I'm going to throw it into that. Future Sight here, just so that you can't switch all willy-nilly. I'll be punishing something the following turn. As I Esco Crashes again, predicting Corv. Good play on his part, but as long as I don't get flinched, I am fine. I'm able to roost that off. And he goes to Slowking on Future Sight, okay, but then he goes to Tusk. Now I get why he did this. As you're gonna see, he's a Helmet Tusk. So what he was trying to do was put me in range of 2 Esco Crashes from his back. So a pretty sneaky play on his part. Doesn't work out though, because that's Brave Bird. No reason not to. Even if he did Chili out, I'm getting a ton of damage out from the Slowking, at least like 37% I think it is. So basically out damaging regen. So that doesn't work out for him at all, though I see what he was trying to do. As I roost here, so roost and he brings backs in, so that's his best case. But I don't want to stay in actually and get flinched. So I'll go to Cinderace there, knowing he's not going to Glaive Rush. As click Fireball. I'm assuming that's Fizz Death Soaking. I did no damage. 42% is very nasty. As supposed to be red card, very interesting stuff. Well, not red card, eject button. As he ejects out into his Polt. As I'm able to go to my core, knowing that you either Draco or U-turn there. No way a Shadow Ball is coming out when I have a Tinglu. So he goes to Cinderace, just U-turning around right now, getting a lot of momentum. It's annoying, but I can deal. It's all about getting some in safely. I should be able to still win the game. Just gaining a lot of momentum right now. So goes for Ice Cold Crash, predicting me to want to go Corv. As we got him there. Slack off, knowing he's going to do that. Ice Cold Crashes again. And flinches me, so very unfortunate. As essentially forces sack Slowking. I can't really go Cinderace because Bandit Crash is actually a roll to kill from there. That's just how strong it is. And I don't want to go Corv, as he's in a position to risk going for flinches. He doesn't really have much reason to switch out at that point. So I actually sack it. I actually just spam Slack off there. Just stall out crashes, but does get the flinch and knocks me out. As I go to my own backs, knowing that he's locked in, and go for the Glaive is free. He has no dragon immunity, as pretty obvious double out to anything. I mean, he's not going to attack there into a Helmet Corv. It's pretty horrible for you. I just know he wouldn't go for something like Iron Head or Low Kick there. So double Glaive, cast the Tusk, knock it out, which is actually pretty crucial for my Tinglu, because now I just get rocks up and they stay up because because Cinderace cannot come in on that. I mean, it can, but it's going to get punished. As a Ice Cold Crashes, pretty standard. As I keep roosting to stay healthy. I know I'm losing a lot of momentum right now, but it's the play I have to make. I can't afford my core knight being any lower than 100%, or else that backs will be an issue. I mean, now Zama, I don't want to waste my ability this early. As I go to Cinderace, pretty much have to risk it. Again, I don't want to go to something like Sama on Powerball, even Wisp. If he does that, then I'll probably just lose. So I have to risk it here and hope for the dodges, which I do get. Very deserved for the flinch earlier as I go for Gunk Shot. Wins the speed tie that time though. However, I do poison him, so that's good. Because once I go for rocks, like say I rocks and he core changes, I can just rocks again, which is actually going to come up later. So I rocks there so that this backs isn't coming in constantly unpunished. Also Ice Cream Crash and Pressure is doing it big time right now because he's at 4 of them. So if he runs out of Ice Cream Crashes, my core actually walls him forever. There's nothing he can do. So Aru's there. So now I come in, even if he flinches, I can live Banded, Struggle, or whatever. So that's cool. Just keep that in mind. As a hard switch out, bringing this Polt hard into core, just screaming and is going to flamethrower there. So let's go to Lewis, free and safe. EQ there, there's no ground resist. As I EQ again, because there's no switching. Pretty uncomfortable to switch into this thing. And he sacks Polt, which is big, because now Zama actually just wins the game. Because that was the only thing stopping it at that point. Core change is obvious, core change is obvious. I rocks again, keep those up for backs. Which is good. However, in there, because Burnt Earthquake is not doing anything to a Gambit. As I get back, so it's the best possible thing because this is set up fodder for my Zama. So he throw Dragon Glade Rushes. I mean, I guess I don't think any other Terra will save him from Zama at this point. It has to be Terra Flying Gambit because there's no ground resist. But even then, I mean, I just Iron Defense twice and just win versus that anyway. I mean, if you're a Terra Blast Fairy, I turn into a nice Steel type. So yeah, also Slowking his only play. I Terra Steel, not risking Glade Rush crit if I stay regular. So just the best play to use my Terra there. As I sub up in case of random Thunder Waves. Only way he can beat me at this point is if he's Flamethrower. Even then, Burn plus Crunch is doing way too much. So he forfeits there as the game is over. So nice. Zama sweep is what I was aiming for and I got it. So we'll move on to the next few games. We are here with the last game. If you made it this far, you deserve a nice badge. I don't know, anything. I don't know. But anyway, so before I even get into this game, right? So just some backstory, you know, hype it up a little bit. So the night of the CTC game, I was at around 2010. So I was among the top 8 at that point, right? Went to sleep because I'm like, I'm not playing any more games. I'm not even risking it. Even though 2010 is extremely low chance of qualifying, like 2% or 0. So I know the next day I would have to play more games, but that night I just didn't feel like it. Woke up, saw I was passed, because at that point, you know, a bunch of other people were playing. So I played a game, got up to 2031, right? And I'm like, cool. Then I got passed again. So I'm like, okay, I'll just play another game, then pretty much secure my spot in the qualifying phase. So, because one game would at least be like 23 points, and that's around the cutoff. The cutoff was around like 2055-ish, I believe, 2053, something like that. Don't remember. So I played a game after I got to 2031. Then I lost. Just played horribly in that game. I actually don't have to replay, but yeah, I just played horribly. It's on Blunder stream somewhere. But lost to put me down 30 points. I was at like 2001 something. So from there, I'm like out of the qualifying spot, not even near it anymore. So I think I won after that. Then I lost again. Then I lost like 2 games after that. So at that point, I'm at like 1996. So I'm way lower than when I started. Like, just completely cooked. And then on top of that, it's deadline. So it's only about 30 minutes left for me to climb back up to 2050 or whatever it was to even have a chance of qualifying. So I'm like, bro, I gotta get this. Like, come on. It's the 3rd year. I gotta do this. So I started winning a bunch of games, started focusing up more. And the thing is, there's a lot of pressure, actually, like mental, just fatigue and whatnot. Just mental pressure with like the time constraints, because you don't have the luxury of thinking through the turns, you know, game planning. Like you can't do that. Like, this is not yeah, it's not that easy. Like, I want to see other people do this. But yeah, like, it's when you have 30 minutes on the clock left to a deadline and you gotta qualify in that time. That's not easy, bro. So yeah, just played a bunch of games and got back up to where I needed to be. And I think this was the last game. Yeah, this was definitely the last one. At this point, I was like 2039. So if I win this, I'll qualify. If I don't, basically done for. Like, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna have to play Cycle 4, which I really do not want to do. I hate playing Cycle 4. So yeah, I'm like, I gotta do this right now. So what better way to end the OLT without some, some juicy stall? And yeah, so my opponent pulled up with this disgusting stuff, but we have the tools, and I bought the team so I could do it. I was very confident in it. This team pretty much only lost like 2 games out of like the 30 or 40 I played with it, so I was like, this can do it for sure. So switched it up, brought this, and yeah, really wishing I had Side Shock on my Hoopa. If I did, I just 6-0'd him, but I don't have Sidekick for whatever reason. Just mindlessly put that on there, but Side Shock's definitely better overall, especially versus stall. You just win. Like, Blissey takes 80% from Spec Side Shock. Like, that's not a counter anymore. I mean, it's still not a counter because, only has 8 softballs, but still, stuff like defense invested Iron Moth is old code by Side Shock as well, so pretty relevant things to kill. So yeah, when I post this team, I'm actually gonna put that over Psychic. Just change that, and yeah. So what I'm looking to do is basically play the long game with the Blissey, force out a bunch of softballs, and then Hoopa will still be able to break through even though I don't have Side Shock. Sneasler is annoying because it U-turns on stuff like Blissey, baiting in Klazar packs for Hoopa to come in. Rotom is actually massively annoying for him because it's not water absorb, it's unaware Klazar. That's what I meant to say. So can't actually come in freely at all. So Wisp plus Volt Switch is pretty safe versus his team. Pretty annoying. Blissey has to take 20%. I think it is every time. With that combination, Garg destroys him too. As I said, he has a bunch of unaware stuff. So won't exactly sweep, it's just annoying. Yeah, Tusk is there to remove Blissey's rocks and switch into his own Tusk. I don't want to switch Rotom in. And Godingo is pretty annoying actually. Once I remove the Blissey, just sits on his whole team. Just T-Waves, Hexes, everything. Beats Klazar 1v1, especially if it's burned. So yeah, let's hop right into this one. This is doable, just gotta play carefully. So these are packs. I'll leave Hoopa because, body's his team. Hard switch out knowing he's gonna Terra. He has to Terra to not, just die. Go to Garg is the best play. T-Spikes up, not a big deal because Sneasler can absorb those simply by switching in. And yeah, I double the Sneasler there because he's a fairy type. Now he doesn't even counter me anymore. Fake it onto U-turn, get a crit, irrelevant. Just fishing for poisons. Whirlpool is there, traps my Rotom. That is fine. I'm able to just fire off a Wisp to cover for the Klazar and or Blissey because that is going to add up along with Volt Switch. Volt Switch there. Do I think 20% to the Blissey? Yeah, 20%. So get my Tusk in, spin those rocks away. I don't want to deal with those. So I get rid of those ASAP. As he whirlpools my Garg, that's fine. Chilling Waters, Salt Care there. Get a bunch of damage off. Recover there. I'm gonna stay at absolute full. And my recover PP is not very important. Just keep spamming Salt Care. There's no reason not to. No reason to switch there on the packs. Not like I have a. Well, I can switch into gold, but I don't want to lose my balloon. He has 2 ground types. So I go to Hoopa, knowing that the Alamola will likely wish or something like that, and they're gonna just fire off attacks. But he T-Spikes. Makes sense. I think he Toxic. Just always the best play in case I decide to do something dumb. Because then I'll just lose the game if Hoopa gets Toxic. There's like no chance. So fake out. Just needs to end again on a double. Fake out into U-turn, poison the Tusk. Very clean. As I knock him off. Knock off his boots, which is actually pretty relevant because now rocks actually do something versus him along with U-turn. So that's cool. As I'm able to get those up, hopefully he doesn't wake up. As I get my Hoopa in for free. Very cool. Psychic, easily destroy the packs. As I just keep spamming Psychic, he has no resist. Does 30% to Blissey, very impressive considering it's a Blissey. So just keep clicking that young Psychic. As what I'm aiming to do here is just waste his Saltboiled. Like I said, if only 8 Saltboiled BP, you're not a real counter to me. So Once those run out, you're done. So even though I don't have side shock, I'm able to just break through eventually. So Seismic tosses me there and gets rocks up. That's not a big deal. I don't need health on Hoopa. It doesn't need to be an absolute full. It just needs to be alive to be able to break his team. So I spin there so that none of my team is taking chip. I don't want that. He wishes and brings the Pex back. Makes sense. Volt switch into Sneasler. Nice Volt turn combination coming through right now. U-turn on the obvious Tusk and bringing Hoopa once again. Don't want him burning off any sleep turns and being able to wrap the spin. I mean, it's not really relevant because the only thing affected by rocks at this point is his own Tusk, but that is pretty relevant actually for Sneasler. So Terra Dark Post. I decided that I don't need to Terra Garg in this game. It's not like it's gonna win ever. So Terra the Dark, best possible option there. I got a crit, I believe it was. Yeah, that's 54. I'm going for flinch at this point, knowing he's probably gonna recover. And that's doing a lot to Blissey. 37, 32. He protects there because he's scared. And if you look, he only has 3 soul balls left. So once he runs out of those, it's over. I'll flinch him there. Great. I have no reason not to click Guard Post there and fish for flinches. So that's exactly what I'm going to go for. Get another one. So now it's actually over because now I just click Psychic. And yeah, so our Dark Post do 32% to the Pex. Very nice. As I go to Sneasler, covers for Toxic and Recover. Covers for whatever, really. And or a double into Blissey in case you wanted to recover on the Garg. Not allowing that. Sneasler is just the best mid ground. I U-turn there, knowing he's not going to leave the Pex in. And now it's time to collect my kill. Come back in with the Hoopa. Click that Psychic and gone. So Psychic again. Dozo gets demolished, and yeah, that's it. That is literally it. And now I have qualified in 2055. This game ended in, I think, about what, 5:50 p.m. The deadline is 6 o'clock. So funny thing is, I actually got a game after this. It basically came down to me time stalling because I'm not, I'm a competitor. I play, to get to the bag. I'm trying to win, bro. So basically what happened was I got a game after this because I didn't know how long this game was going to be. So I just planned to stall this one out and then win the other one. So that once deadline approaches, I already have the necessary points. And it was just great, bro. It was a bunch of my teammates from Northeast just cheering me on, which is very cool. It was just very hyped too. I don't know, just a bunch of funny stuff happening. And yeah, basically like fake out, protect, stalled in that last game I played. I'm not going to show it, obviously. There's no point in doing that. This has been going on long enough, but yeah, basically just fake out, protect, stall, just recover, stall. I didn't even play optimally because I wasn't trying to win. I was trying to win the war, not the battle. So yeah, basically stall till deadline, and then once deadline came, I just lost the game. Just basically tossed the game because it didn't matter at that point. But winning this one was definitely important. Glad he forfeited because it saved me a lot of time. So yeah, gonna pull up the OLT post right now. Here it is, the official OLT 10 discussion thread. Scroll down a little bit, Got cycle 1 and 2 qualifiers. Then you have cycle 3, and there it is. Number 7 is where I ended on the ladder, so that's why they put me here. Nice 103.37 record. Could have been better, but it's pretty, pretty mild, pretty modest record. Yeah, really satisfied with this. Very happy with this. Not a lot of games. That's really not a lot of games. Because like if you look up 274 to 180, god damn, I would have quit. I would have been quit by the 199th game. Jesus. But yeah, very, 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 very happy. Because like I said, all my old subscribers know I've been going for this for so long. 2020 and 2021 didn't make it, and then finally the third time. So yeah, we did it, ladies and gentlemen. So I will try my best to post my tournament games when those happen. And yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And yeah, see you all next time. Peace.